Alright guys, we got another bike modification here that we're going to be working on, and this is a clutch assembly, or clutch basket, and a couple parts that go to it. And this is another job for the same bike shop that I've done other work for, and that's actually D&D Cycles here in Pensacola, and they're a Triumph dealer, and they also they've got a race team where they race Triumphs, and I believe they're getting ready to head to Daytona in a couple weeks, whenever bike week is. I think it's a couple weeks away, and they're going to be racing in the Daytona 200. And so I believe this is for one of their bikes, and this is just some stuff that Rob, he's my buddy, he's one of the guys. He's a racer and a mechanic down there, part of the family. And I believe this is something that he's doing on his own, trying to, I guess, improve, find a little more power. I know he talked about lightening this, so I haven't seen it all together, so I don't know what all this looks like, but he's taking it apart, and I've got to do a couple mods for him. So you've got the basket, and this is what I'll be doing everything to right here. Is the aluminum clutch basket itself. And so he's taking some of the parts out of here, and if you see, once you put the gear on here, that these ears here actually stick up above the gear. And so what he's wanting to do is machine these off to where they're basically flush with the gear, and this cover plate here will sit on top and line up with the holes. And then he's got 3 new rivets that we'll install here, and I'm actually going to have to open these holes up just a little bit. These rivets are a little bit bigger than what was in there. I think these are 8mm, so we've got to open the holes up. So that's what we got to do there to get this going for him. So I'm going to take some measurements. I'll probably use a depth mic and lay across the face here, and come down to the gear and take some measures from on 3, and try to get the length of these, maybe a couple thousandths below the face of that or so. And then whenever he puts this piece on and then rivets it together, it should be nice and tight. So that's what we got to do for him. This is what he asked for me to do, and this is what we're going to do. Okay, I've got the basket set up in the 4-jaw. I just, I got the jaw set and put it in there. I pushed it up against the face of the chuck. Now I don't know how flat the back side of this basket is against the chuck, but what I want to do, because the gear is going to sit along here, I want to go ahead and check this face here and make sure I get it as flat as I can, or running even. And I usually like to have my stuff running true, so I'll go ahead and use my ID indicator attachment and get the inside checked also. I'll just put the indicator up against this face right here, and I'm not going to there's not a lot to work with, so I got my 0 about where I want already, so I'm just going to come in and we'll see how far off we are. Well, those 2 jaws are already good. Look at that. That's about 0 and 0. Let's see these. All right, we got a almost +5 and then +2. Got a little plastic hammer here. I'll see how it works. Went a little too far. About 1.5 over. That's 2. It's pretty close right there. That's 2. It's about 1.5, so that's about a half a thousandths on those jaws. Or -1 there. 0. Alright, that one's about -1 and -1. Alright, that's pretty good there. Let me see how true we are on center. Somewhere around 25. I don't want to squeeze it much, so I'm just being a little delicate with it here. This is probably plenty good for what we're doing, but I just like to get things running true. Okay, that's not bad. We'll leave that alone. I'm going to come back to the face again and check it again, see if we need to bump it a little more. Moved it a little bit. Don't take much. Alright, we're within a half a thousandths on those two. And we're well within a half thousandths on those two. Alright, so I'm going to leave that alone. Looks good. I'll get my tool set up and we'll start doing some facing. Alright, I got my tool set up, we're ready to cut. I was just going to point out, I'd use my depth mic with the gear sitting on here, and I got 3 different measurements right around 270 thousandths of stick out here that's got to come off. And I also use the 1-inch mic and mic the thickness of the gear. Gears measuring 0.1775. So really what we're going to be shooting for is for these lugs to stick up, say I'm going to call it around 175 thousandths. So we're going to touch off, and I know I've got to go somewhere around 270 thousandths or so. And I've got it sped up. We're going to run 532 RPM. And I've got the feed rate kind of slow because it's not chucked real hard, and it's an interrupted cut, so I don't want to grab it and snatch it out. Now here we go. First thing I'm going to do is come up close with my tool, and then we'll move in on it. Take a light cut and see how it does here. 25. see what it looks like. It's leaving a nice finish, so. That was a pretty decent cut. I mean, it's only 25, but. Alright, let's keep going. Might just keep it at that. So that's 100 thousandths there, and it's doing a good job. I don't really think I need cutting oil, but I'm going to get some just to try it. I'm just going to brush a little bit on. I'm going to keep going with it. Doing good either way. All right, we've taken 250 thousandths. So that's going to leave me somewhere around 20 thousandths or so. But what I want to do is back off. I'm going to reset my zero. I'll back off, and I'm going to take some measurements on it, and just kind of compare everything and see where I'm at. All right, I'm using my depth mic. Feels like it's about there, showing 200. It's about 201. That one's about 202. Now this is that's not machined, that's just a casting. It's a pretty nice casting actually. I mean, it's pretty flat. All right, so we've still got about, I don't know, about 25 thousandths I need to come down. I'm going to take 25 and take another measurement and see. Do this real quick too. Yeah, that feels about right. Come back up to my zero. That's going to bring us real close to what I want. set my zero again and then back off. Alright, and then we'll check it again. And I'm shooting for 175. That way it'd be 2 to 3 thousandths under the face of that gear, and everything should be able to pull down nice and tight. All he said was just make it flush. All right, 178. Just wipe and make sure ain't no chips on it. All right, that's 175 there. So it's basically flush like it is now. That's about 177 and a half. So I think what I'll do is just take 3 thousandths, because you don't want any of them sticking up above. I think it needs to pull flat whenever he puts the rivets on. And it feels flush now. Alright, we'll take a few more, and that should be the final cut. Around 174 and a half. So hopefully that'll work. As I said, I was just told make it flush. So I'm calling that flush. Okay. All right. Next thing I need to do is take it out. And I need to open these holes up, and the gear and or not the gear, but the basket and the other piece. All right, set up on the mill. A letter L drill fits these holes perfect, so that's what I'm going to use to align the existing holes. I've already got it in the chuck, and I'm going to get her square it up there. Alright, I feel good with that. And I'm going to use a 5/16 drill. The rivets, I measured them in there. I'm getting about 310, 311 on the rivets, so I'm just going to use a 5/16 and hope that works fine. Trying to think of something here. These are around 275 now. I might not use a drill instead. I might go find a little reamer and just use that because there's not a lot to come out of there. Let me go see if I can find a reamer first. Alright, I found me a 5/16 reamer. I'm just going to use that because we're within the range of what a reamer is designed to cut. I'm going to use that because a drill, a lot of times you end up getting a couple thousandths over what you want to drill it. I'm just going to use this though. I got the camera right there where I'm working this quill handle. That's it right there. Oh, that fits it nice. Alright, well, that's what we're going to go with. Move the 5/16 drill away. All right. Got those three done. Almost done. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Keith Fenner. When he was going through one of his toolboxes, he found a tool like this. It was a chamfering tool with a file handle on it, and made a joke about using these, and man, he must have a fast hand or something. But I've got a couple of these also, and they work good for just doing some hand deburring on a thing like this. Just give it one little stroke, sometimes two, and it puts a nice little chamfer on there. That little tool comes in handy. I'll come into the back side here and hit it just a little bit also. Alright, I'm on to the last piece here, and this is the one that had me a little worried. I believe that's a heat treated piece of metal. I rubbed it with a file and it's acting like it's a little bit tough. I went digging through my carbide trying to find something in a 5/16 and I couldn't find anything. So I'm going to just go ahead and attempt it with the drill bit. There's really not a lot there, so I'm going to slow it down and drill it slow. But you know, I don't want to mess up my my good 5/16 reamer. So we're just going to try the drill so you know I can regrind that. The holes are the same size, so I'm going to use that letter L drill to get her lined up, which I've already done this one. I just lightly tighten that clamp down just enough to hold it. And we're going to give this a shot with a drill bit, a high-speed drill bit I mean. And I need to change up some speeds here. I don't want to run it that fast. Alright, let me bring it up a little bit. Alright, I can tell it's tough, but it drilled it. If I came in there hauling ass with a drill bit, it might have burnt up the edges, but looks like it's gonna work. Keep blocking the view there. There's the iconic fire truck sirens. Okay, I believe my job is about done. Let me get it out of here and we'll test fit it. Okay, got all the parts ready, and we're gonna see if this hole pattern matches up. Get some of the chips off of it. Hopefully you guys can see this. And they look like they're matching up. That'll work. Rivets are sticking through. So you got enough that he can cut them the length he wants and brad them in there. That's it. So I've done what Rob asked me to do. Now, regardless of how this thing functions or what he's doing, you know, I know some of you guys are probably knowledgeable on some motorcycle clutches. That's not my concern, whether this works or not. I don't care. I mean, he asked me to do this and this is what I'm doing. Just like some other stuff, you know, it's test and tune, you know, custom work. They're trying to find ways to get a little bit of performance edge on things. I know he said what he was doing here was also kind of like the flywheel lightning. He's taking weight out of this so that it gives you performance gains on the motor, and I'm sure they're trying to find every bit of power they can right now to get out there and do that racing. I was going to tell you, I believe this is going to go on, I didn't ask him, but I believe this is going to go on a Triumph Daytona 675, I believe it is, and I think they got two of them that they're building for the race. So any of you guys watch that when it comes on? I was going to ask them what the numbers were, and they got a couple new riders. I can't remember their name, but if I get some of the info, maybe I'll post it up in the comment section. So any of you guys out there that's going to watch the Daytona races, maybe you can keep an eye out for us local boys here, and know that one of them bikes has got a little mod that I helped do in it, which is pretty cool. So, all right, well, that's all for this job. So, hope you guys enjoyed, as always. I like putting it on the camera for you guys to see, and I've been enjoying being back out here in the shop working again. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you later. Hey guys, just real quick, what I wanted to add about this, I was talking about the race team. If you guys want to watch the Daytona 200 coming up in a couple weeks, the team here is D&D Cycles Factory 675 race team. So that's who I'll be rooting for in the race. So hopefully, guys, will get to see a glimpse of us local guys around here. All right, see you later.